Hello, Elyria. This is Mrs. Stoll, fourth grade teacher at Ely Elementary, and I'm back again to do another virtual math lesson with all of you. I hope you all enjoyed the line plot lesson and Jacob coming into the frame. This is my dog Jacob, if you haven't seen him in the last video. I hope you all enjoyed the line plot lesson, and I hope a lot of you were able to create your own. Shout out to one of my students. He did one on colors of jelly beans. So that was really cool to see. So I love that he participated and was able to show me. Remember, if you do any of these lessons or would like to see some examples for me to see, please make sure that you comment on the Facebook page so that I'm able to see, or on Dojo. So today's lesson, we are going to learn about decimals. Now, when I left my students, we did not cover decimals yet. So this is going to be a brand new concept. So we really need to keep our brains active and really listening and focusing so that we're able to learn some new strategies and techniques for decimals. So decimals are essentially just fractions in a different form. So for example, you gonna help us? We all know what whole numbers are. Whole numbers are non-fractions. So for example, one whole apple. It is not broken up into slices. It is just one apple. That's a whole. Or if you order a pizza and you don't cut the slices yet, you have one whole pizza and no pieces were taken or eaten. Fractions are when you start slicing and cutting them up and taking the pieces away. If I cut my apple into fourths and I eat one piece, well, one out of the four pieces have been taken, or 1/4. Same with the pizza. My husband and I just had a pizza the other day. We each ate 2 slices. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So 4/8 of the pizza was eaten, since 4, 2, and 2, and then the whole pizza had 8. So that's a fraction. Decimals are just fractions written in a different way. So the first number is the whole number. So I'm going to use the example 8. 8 is my whole number. So we could say we had 8 pizzas. Then comes the decimal point. Any number after the decimal point will be our fraction. So the first place value, because every number has place values, the first place value after the decimal point is called the tenths. So our denominator is going to be a 10 because we're counting tenths. So if I put a 3 here, that shows me that there was 8 wholes, so 8 whole pizzas, and then 3/10. So 8.3 is equivalent or equal to 8 wholes and 3/10. You can see that? 8 wholes, 3/10, 8 wholes, 3/10. They are equivalent or equal to. So fractions are decimals. They're just written in a different way. So today's lesson, we're going to compare fractions and decimals. So comparing, you are trying to figure out what is greater or what is less than. So we're going to compare some decimals. So we're going to use our example of 8 and 3/10. And let's do 8 and 5/10. So 8 and 3/10, 8 and 5/10. So to compare decimals, we're going to look at the whole number first. I can see my whole number is 8. I can see my whole number is 8. They are the same. Since they're the same, I'm going to go to the next place value. So I have a 3 and a 5. Well, I know 3 is less than 5, so we can say 3 is less than 5. So comparing decimals, you're just going by each place value. Start with the whole number, then go to the tenths. Let's try another one. This time, we're going to do 3 and 7/10 and 2 and 9/10. Right over here. 3 and 7/10, 2 and 9/10. So remember, we're going to start with the whole number. So I have a 3 and a 2. Well, 3 is greater than 2, so I'm going to do the greater than sign. Even though 9 is more than 7, we always start with the whole number first. So 3 is more than 2, so 3 and 7/10 is greater then 2 and 9/10. I have one that's going to be a little bit tricky. Let's see if you can figure this one out. What if I have 5 and 58 hundredths, because the next place value is called the hundredths place. So we have tenths and hundredths. And 5 and 59 hundredths. So remember, we're going to start with the whole number first. So we have a 5 and a 5. They are the same. They're equivalent. So I'm going to go to the next place value. I have a 5 and a 5. They are also the same and equivalent. So I'm going to go to the next place value. So I have an 8 and a 9. 9 is greater than 8, so we can say 8 is less than 9. So in order to compare fractions, you just start with your whole numbers, and then you go to the tenths, and then finally the hundredths. Or you keep going until you find the different number. 5 and 5 are the same, 5 and 5 are the same, but the 8 and the 9 are different, so that's where you're going to compare. I hope you all enjoyed this lesson. And remember, you can practice at home comparing fractions. You can go on iExcel, which is a wonderful tool that my students are very familiar with. So if you go to iExcel, there's a whole section with comparing decimals, so you can continue practicing how to compare fractions and decimals by saying what is greater than and what is less than. Sometimes they might even be equal or equivalent. I hope you had fun, and I can't wait to see all of you again. As a reminder for my students that are in 4th grade at Ely Elementary, we are doing a virtual hangout again. So that is happening this Thursday, March 26th at 6 o'clock. So I hope to see a lot of my students there, and I will remind you on Dojo with the code so that you are able to come hang out with us. This time we're going to do Google Hangout. We did Zoom last time, but in order to keep it free, there was a 30-minute window. So we wanted to keep it longer just in case we wanted to hang out some more. So this week, we're going to do Google Hangout. We will send out a Dojo code Thursday at 6. Can't wait to see you all there. Bye.